Hello, I'm Sati and I have a really bad relationship with fear. So yeah, I'm here to do a video about fear and how fear has played a big role within my life, but also tapping into the whole idea of like what fear actually is and why do we have it and why is it here, kind of thing. So yeah, so this is quite ironic. This is quite ironic because I've been meaning to do this video for 2 months, but I've been procrastinating and like holding it off for such a long time just because I've been quite fearful about doing it and everything. So it's quite interesting that I'm doing a video about fear when right now I'm like terrified. Very terrified. So yeah, so let's just get into this video. So I thought, let me just give like a little brief understanding and like description and explanation about my own relationship with fear and how fear has played a role in my life. So in a nutshell, I've always been quite a worrisome person. I've always been quite cautious and very anxious in general as a person growing up and everything. I was very hyper aware of my surroundings and about the way I behaved and like how that affects other people and how other people react to me and everything, and also just very worrisome about the world around me and everything. And I guess that was like that was just my demeanor as a person. I'm just that type of worrisome person that internalizes a lot of things, and then the way it turned into something where now it's becoming quite a hindrance in my life is when I got diagnosed with anxiety when I was 22 years old, so like about 5 years ago, and how fear is so ingrained in my day-to-day living and has kind of changed its role within my life to being something that's there to protect me and being now something that's there to hinder my development and hinder my my spirit, which is unfortunate because fear is meant to be there to help you and is a natural emotion that we all experience, and it's for specific reasons, which is physiological and psychological. So yeah, and I've just always just wondered, like, why am I so afraid of everything? And yeah, this like very worries me, like, why am I afraid? Why? So I just thought, let me just actually come on here and talk about fear and what is it. And for me personally, I really do feel like I'm in a place in my life where I really want to understand myself more as a person and just to own every entity of me, and that does require understanding and accepting every ounce of me, even the parts that I'm not proud of within myself. And I think especially now being a 27-year-old woman, I really just want to own who I am and be unapologetically myself and just embrace who I am. So with that, I really want to tap into why do I do the things that I do, but also what is it that I do and how is and why. There's a big question of why and having to answer that along the journey. And so I really wanted to tap into what is actually fear, of like the textbook definition of it, and to have me understand the physical and like psychological parts that play into fear, basically to help me understand that it is a natural emotion and it's meant to happen, so that's why you feel that way. So I have my handy notebook here. I'm a very actually I had other notes on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record, so I have to use my notebook. But I like writing. Writing is very therapeutic. So yeah. So what is fear? So the dictionary term of fear that I found on the Googler was an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger or harm. And then from a very lovely website called verywellmind.com, they say fear is a natural, powerful and primitive human emotion. It involves a universal biochemical response as well as a high individual emotional response. Fear alerts us to the presence of danger or the threat of harm, whether the danger is physical or psychological. Wow. And then I asked, do you know when you kind of go into Google and then you kind of like click on like all the other kind of questions that other people might have asked or Googled? So people asked in Google, what is the true meaning of fear? And Google had to say this. Fear is a distressing emotion aroused by impending danger, evil, pain, etc. Whether the threat is real or imagined, the feeling of condition of being afraid, a specific instance or priority for such feeling. Lovely. So that is basically what fear is from a textbook standpoint and from a very black and white standpoint. So I think in a nutshell, fear is basically a natural human function that is processed by the brain, and with the brain my brain with yeah, I think with anything it is to do with the mind, it's probably one of the hardest things to heal and to retrain, basically, because it's connected to everything within your body, and it's responsible for so many things that your body does and everything. And so yeah, like it's just interesting just to see that you can't get rid of this feeling because you need it. If not, then you'll be a very reckless person, and that has its own set of disadvantages. Whew. And I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I think how I feel right now is just the fact that sometimes it's so hard when you have a pending issue where it's something like, for example, like having such a distorted view and relationship with fear. And it's not like, for example, like, do you know, God forbid, like if like someone is a drug addict and stuff like that and everything, you don't need drugs to function in life. Do you know what I mean? Like in the first place, like it was done for as a means of leisure or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And you're able to still carry on with life without that thing. But I feel like with things to do with like when people have like a food addiction, or like they have anxiety or whatever, it's one of those things where these things are here as part of our own human experience, and it's needed to help us function. So once that is gone into overdrive, what do you do, and how do you, like, can you overcome it? Because that is the real question. Can you actually overcome fear? Because you can't get rid of it because you need it. And if you need, but how do you create a better relationship with it again, where you try and understand that, oh my gosh, like I'm scared, but I know that, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but in a nutshell, basically what I'm trying to say is this shit is hard. And this shit is so fucking hard. Like, I think I'm going, what the fuck thing? Like, I'm just getting very nervous right now. What am I trying to say here? What am I actually trying to say here? So basically, fear is there. So, okay. So reading from all these definitions, it's obvious, it's quite apparent that fear is a natural human function that we all need to be able to be a functioning human being living in the society that we live in now. Woo. And so with that, it's kind of daunting, the whole idea, if one of those human emotions that are there to be one of the pillars of your being is in overdrive. What the hell do you do? Because you can't avoid it, you can't dismiss it, and you can't get rid of it because it's meant to be there to help and protect you. So what the fuck do you do? And I think that is the question that a lot of people deal with in general, is the fact that, like, we all experience fear to a different degree, and experience it in a different way and react to it in a different way. And it's one of those things where it's just like, can you actually overcome fear? And fear in the sense of like, once, if it's an overdrive. I remember I was watching this TED talk that Elizabeth Gilbert did, and she's she's the woman who wrote the book Eat, Pray, Love. And she was just talking about how basically, like, you need fear in your life, like we've been saying for the past like 10 minutes. Fear is meant to be there to protect you, but at the same time, like, don't avoid it, but allow it to be present, to be there to protect you in the car. She's like, fear, you were all in the car, all your emotions were all in the car, you're driving the car, you're like boop, 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 and stuff. So all the emotions are there and everything, and it's one of those things where like, you allow fear to have a seat in the car, but don't allow fear to drive the car. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of, I hope that makes sense. But I think that is that in a nutshell. I think fear, what is it, how can you overcome it? And it's inevitable that we're all gonna experience it. We're all gonna experience some degree of fear in our lives. And yeah, I think doing this is helping me learn how to overcome fear within my own way as a person and everything. Just because I've always wanted to do YouTube and to be on a platform where I'm able just to speak about all the things that are going in this crazy mind of mine, and all the great conversations that I have with people that I meet and my friends and everything, and all the ideas that pop into my mind, and having a greater dialogue and spreading that basically, and also learning with it as well. I've been so fearful, very fearful, like fear-ridden, to even like post anything like and stuff. And it's such a shame, because I really enjoy the whole idea of creating your own platform to say whatever you want to say, and connecting with like-minded people like you to have honest conversations about life, but also just about anything really. And to feel as if you are not worthy, or you don't, or like you're not good enough, is the worst feeling you can have within yourself, because it just makes you feel like, then what am I actually good at? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm probably not making any sense, but this is part of the journey. This probably won't make any sense because it's my first video, so that I'm actually going to post, because I've done so many videos and I haven't posted them, but this is going to be my first one. So yeah, I'm babbling right now, but yeah, so basically, can you overcome fear? That is my question for everyone. And if you happen to watch this video, thanks for watching. And also, please comment down below about, do you feel you can overcome fear? And if so, how can you, and what has worked for you? I would love to know, because I love learning. And yeah, all that kind of great stuff. And let's just have a really big conversation about it and everything. I did write down a few ideas of like how to overcome fear, but I think I would love to know like how other people do it and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, how can you overcome fear? Can you do that? That is the question of the day. Can you overcome fear? Can you overcome fear? How many times are you going to say that, Sati? I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. But yeah, thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me, and having me actually put myself out there and to not give two basically. Now that with the state of the world that we're in right now, life is so fragile, so anything that you thrive to do, just do it. And I think I'm at that point now where I am just like, it's a blessing to be alive at this point in life, and especially during this day and age that we're in right now, with so much toxicity. But I know that in the next coming months, and hopefully by 2021, everything will work out for the best. In order for light to come, everything that is toxic and dark needs to rise up to reveal what needs to be changed and what needs to be dismantled. So this is where we are now. So yeah, thank you so much, and well done to me for doing this. well done. So yeah, can you overcome fear?